No Prisoners podcast. If you've been listening and you still haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I repeat myself. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram. We're on Facebook, but nobody does Facebook anymore. So Instagram, YouTube, No Prisoners. We have our good friend here back, Sonny Patel.
This time I'm going to talk a little bit louder. I was very quiet in the last one.
Did some self-critiquing.
I did.
Yeah, so you're fresh out of the Miami adventure, and you got a dog recently. It's been a minute since I've seen you, at least a month.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw you right before we were going to get Enzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in the last podcast I talked about how 75 Hard Phase 1, I visualized the Malamute. Like I would be in a garage and I had a Malamute and I'd be petting him. And I didn't know I would get one so soon. But anyways, we ended up getting one. His name is Enzo. He's awesome. Right now he's at camp. He's doing well over there. We decided that we needed help. Because he's a little bit mouthy right now. He's teething and stuff like that. And then last week I was in Miami and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, what was it? Masks, no masks? What was going on?
So everybody said, like, the signs were everywhere, like they are here, and they were just, no one was really, I mean, like, if people wanted to, it was optional. You know, it's your decision. So no one was like, oh, you have to wear it. I think, like, I was only at one place where people were really enforcing it. Dude, I took Ubers, and, like, it was me, my wife, and my mom and dad. And we would get in an Uber, and sometimes, like, I would even ask the guy. And then I got used to asking them, hey, do you mind if I sit in the front? And they're like, yeah, no problem. Only one guy denied us. And I was like, yeah, totally fine. No problem. That's your comfort level. It's your car. Yeah. But everybody else is like, yeah, totally come in the front. And then meanwhile, I'm in fucking New York, and they have like a plastic barrier, and then they have a fucking like silver HVAC pipe coming to give AC in the back. Could you imagine? It's such a difference. It's like, how is this the same country? It's fucking crazy.
What's crazy about that is I think that New York City, if New York City was a country, it would be the 11th biggest GDP in the world.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So I would like to see what that looks like in a few years in comparison to Florida. I wonder what Florida looks like right now in terms of what it contributes to, like, the states economically, and then, you know, let the freer state.
Florida's on the up and up.
Yeah.
You're going crazy. The real estate market is on fire. Did you feel that down there? Did you just feel an energy?
Absolutely.
Well, you guys were down there for the reason of, like, trying to purchase stuff, right?
Yeah. So we were looking at investment property down there. We were looking at small apartment buildings, like 8 to 12 units in Miami Beach, and which we don't know anything about. But I was just like, hey, like, this seems like a good investment. People want to go down there. And then, you know, another thing, I was like even looking like, okay, if something works out and I need like a place to live or something like that, then I kind of calculated it out, and I was like, maybe I can't live in one of the units, better I rent it out. Then I was like looking at the places around there. There's this tower in Brickell. I think it's the largest residential tower outside of Manhattan. I don't know where, if they're counting it on the East Coast or whatever. And it's like 85 stories. They don't have anything available. Nothing.
Not a single
unit. Not a studio. Not a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. Nothing.
Do you think most people buy what they can and then Airbnb down there?
Yeah. I think people are big into Airbnb. It's like really crazy in Miami Beach, though, with all the zoning and stuff like that for Airbnb. Yeah, I mean, people Airbnb, hotels are going crazy down there as well. Yeah, it's just, and not just that, but the energy is like different. So many New York restaurants have like come down there, which is like crazy too in the last couple of years. Like the last time I was there was early 2019, so it's been 2 years. And it's totally different. I even talked to my sister just before this, and I was like, hey, did you notice, like she went in January this year. I was like, hey, did you notice that it's anything different? And she's like, yeah, it's totally fucking different. Like it's
just the
like,
vibes.
yeah, the vibe is different. And like so many people from the Northeast moved down there. So yeah, it's like awesome. And I still think it's like worth getting into in one way or the other. Any of the reasonably priced condos and stuff, reasonably priced meaning like 300 to 500,000 for like a 1,000 square feet, 1,100 square feet, full service building. They're all like either pending, sold, whatever. So now it's just like closer to the $1 million range.
I know directly from Lauren's family, who's mostly from New York.
John's wife.
Yeah, my wife. 6 people, like 6 households inside of her family that have moved to New York in the last year full time and under.
You mean Florida?
Florida, under 40 years old.
Yeah,
So it's been,
there's a lot of people under 40 years old examining Florida right now.
I mean the weather's good. It's beautiful. You don't have the problem. The congestion up here is
the problem
is a pain in
we
the ass.
see is saturation. Like it's sometimes you kind of don't want to in our business. I guess I don't know how easy or not easy it is to enter into a market that's just so aggressively performing so late in the game. I feel like by the time we would be
I think
getting into it, it kind of would.
I think that
but
happened.
then what
in
would you be doing
2008,
down there?
And
What would we be doing down there?
No, I mean like what I meant is like, are you looking to build homes down there or like?
I don't know. We'll see what Bitcoin does, I guess.
I know, right? Oh, speaking of which, I bought Bitcoin thanks to this podcast. Oh, nice. There we go.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
we created wealth.
Yeah.
You got value. You should hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
get
put that,
value here.
dude. I'm gonna put that on my LinkedIn and Instagram.
You're a value adder.
Yeah. Basically, I'm like 1 F away from Forex trader. Right here.
You're like a 3x trader.
I'm on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I'm trading like different assets.
Dude,
Like,
you're
what do you call that then?
A 3x trader.
Because we're not just doing equities. We're not doing like got all these different like currencies and shit. Like I feel like I don't know Rockefeller or something.
Fuck.
Let me get that gold.
Yeah.
Are you guys, because you're in the hotel larger unit business, like is there an attraction for you to kind of like go to those smaller 10 unit buildings now because of like the last year? It's like easier to maybe more defensive in that night, like I don't know, keeping them filled.
Yeah, defensive, and also we see that the market is there and the prices are good, so it's not that much. It's not that much of an investment to like get into these, and then kind of like find your bearings and stuff like that. Because it's like how business is obviously just one customer at a time. So I'd rather just be like on a smaller scale where I can manage it myself for a little bit. I mean, like I know all the apartment books and stuff like that tell you get a manager, but like I really want from start to finish to manage that whole process and like make it fucking amazing.
If you start on the ground level and you grow it, you'll know everything about it, and then when you do hire somebody to run it, you'll know the ins and outs.
Exactly. Yeah. That too.
Smart. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing in a few of our businesses that we're finding now, that there has to be a documented process that we follow. Not necessarily so like for a lot of reasons, so that we're all following the same fucking process and we're not like going around each other and things like that. Or people, if somebody wants to hire somebody, it's like the right person is making that decision on whether or not we need that, or like things like that. Or what if somebody like stops working here? That's very critical. Like if say I call Gilmar something offensive and he quits, he's like, oh, that wasn't funny, I'm out of here. Poor quality. And then we'd be like, what do we do? What does Gilmar do here? What button do I push? Like, you would want to have like some sort of like, this is how we do this, or this is how this gets done, or if somebody, you know, can help Gilmar, like, you know what I'm saying? Like redundancies.
Definitely.
So I definitely get the reason why you would want to just manage all of that yourself.
Yeah. And also like kind of like every single touch point with the customers, like I kind of want to control that and then pass it off to somebody else because I want it done my way. You know, I may not know shit right now, but I know that I will do my best for whatever customers I have in front of me.
It's definitely hard to give up how much caring you put into a business or into a product.
Right.
It's to the point that sometimes it's destructive. I've seen a lot of people's businesses that like fail to grow even past just one person because they have to make sure that like every tile is exactly like, you know, towards Mecca or whatever they're concerned about. Like it has to be that level of perfect.
Towards Mecca.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though? It's just like you have to lay out 800 pieces of tile so that the vein is good in the shower. It's like there's a certain level to that we bring to the market, but at a certain point you have to stop and like be like, this isn't benefiting anyone. It's costing the customer more money. It's, you know, preventing us from doing other things, or, you know, replicating that level in other people is sometimes impossible. Like, so there's always, you know, a certain degree where you have to like run the ball down the field and then just kind of like hand it off to somebody you hopefully at that time, you know, what type of person or the vision of the person you would need for that role. But you do have to spend time like with the problem sometimes.
Yeah.
You always have to beta test, and then once you get your process down your way, you can scale it.
Yeah, I mean, like, not that it's easy to find someone who cares as much as you do, but I mean, that's something that eventually you can cultivate. And it's like, yeah, I mean, if you just look at it, it's like, okay, even the way you guys do the tile and stuff like that, okay, it's not good maybe now for you guys to do the tile like that, or like to spend so much time looking at it or whatever. But like if someone else can do that and then you can go expand the business and then everybody knows that, hey, this is the X factor. You know how like when you go to a restaurant, like let's say you go to a pizza restaurant, you don't order a fucking salad there, right? Like they're known for their pizza. The passion goes into the pizza. And vice versa, like at some, whatever, Mexican restaurant, like Tex-Mex or something, you know, maybe they don't make the best cheeseburgers. So it's like similarly, like every company has their thing. Like Porsche has the 911, right? Where it's rear-engined, it's compromised, still all the engineering effort goes behind that. Compared to the mid-engine car, which is more balanced, the Cayman or the Boxster, they still don't put all that little X factor, you know, that extra bit where it's just like, yo, this is the shit. Like
when he talks about cars, I get excited.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, what's next?
yeah. So like, I mean, but you could say that for like any product, like even for Apple and stuff, right? Like their shit, it completely revolves around the iPhone, right? Like everything that they do is like for that shit. It's like you've noticed over the years, it's like, yeah, who gives a shit about the iMac and this and that? It's like, whatever. It's like, no, this is the thing that they sell the most of. They're known for. They got to put everything on the line.
You know what that is? That's their hedgehog concept. It's their flywheel. Like, so the flywheel, their entire thing's based off that. Then everything else supports that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Apple, have you gotten one of those?
Can you pull me up go to Yahoo Finance and just go to Apple, and then we'll go to like their cash flows, and then we'll divide it by like the.
Has anyone seen those? What do they call those microchipped finder things that you can buy now from?
I think AirTags or something.
AirTags.
I've had one of those.
What's your feeling on the AirTag?
Funny thing about the AirTag, they're not new. I actually got one like 3 or 4 years ago. I was doing something at my aunt's house.
Wait, they're not new?
No. I was doing something at my aunt's house easily 3 or 4 years ago, and I lost my keys, and I ended up having to like stay for dinner. And then like I found my keys, and then I was like, all right, bye. Bye. And then it was like right around Christmas time, so she got me one of these things for Christmas. But like when it died, I had to like mail it back to them and like pay for a new one back. So I just never did that.
Oh, I have a tile. That's what I use for my keys, my wallet.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it
Where
was.
is it? I have somewhere in my
No, they
pocket.
make the Apple ones are slick looking. They're like little discs.
I have this.
Yeah, that's
They look like the Apple Watch chargers.
Yeah,
The
have you
AirTags,
seen them?
yeah.
They're
I've
pretty
seen
cool.
them. Yeah, they look pretty sick.
You can put them in things. Put them in people's pockets, like as they're walking around.
You can track them.
I think I mean Builder Trend does that.
And you put them in a vagina.
What the fuck?
Yo, you don't
That's what
think,
I was thinking.
You don't,
Talk
you,
about an implant.
you don't think
Yo,
don't think
get out of
all
my
the
head.
human traffickers are doing all that shit right now? They're like, I'm putting an air tag in you, bitch.
Human traffickers.
Jesus.
They got to swim across there. That's how it would not work. The Mexicans would do it.
Yeah, they waterproof.
Are they water? Yeah. I was about to-
Hopefully
Yeah,
they're
go to
waterproof.
financials up at the top. It's like a blue bar on the right.
Right.
Boom. And then go to total revenue and then click that like bar down.
Is Yahoo Finance the only thing that keeps Yahoo in business?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because this is pretty detailed shit.
Yeah, I use Yahoo Finance a lot. It just cuts out the thing. And then the problem is with a lot of those like stock platforms, I think they start tracking like what things you search for. And then they give that, like, they use that information and, like, say, like, if I'm searching different stocks, they can kind of, like, track, like,
How many
the
people
platform can see what I'm searching and stuff like that. If the platform could figure that out, though, they could essentially trade on the information based upon what we're looking at. Which would be insane.
I called a news station in college about that, about Google. And they're like, do you have news to report? I was like, no, this is news.
Or we could probably just search, like, what Apple makes on computers versus what they make on iPhones. I'm interested to see this.
Google.
I want to say
Apple started soldering things to the motherboard a couple years ago. That's fucking annoying. You can't like replace like components easily and stuff like that.
No,
like,
you always have to. You always pretty much just send it to Apple to get fixed. Because I've
for
tried
$800.
Yeah, I mean, I always get like the warranties because that's the only thing I get warranted is my MacBooks because they just like. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting thing. But anyway.
Yeah.
So are you going to, these units you're buying down there, are you going to Airbnb these? Or are you just going to fill them with year-to-year clients? Like, what are you trying to do?
Put Apple revenue mix
That's a better.
by product. There it is.
Yeah, to answer your question, probably if we can get zoned Airbnb, which I'm pretty sure we can at some of these places, I'd like to do that.
Dude,
'cause it
fuck
would
masks, fuck zoning. We don't need any of this.
I know, right? No, but they're pretty tough on it down there.
See, this is a great chart right here. Wow.
Look at the services coming in at the end.
This is 2020 on the end here. Apple services, iPad is
It's like iTunes, all that
services.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, basically, Apple is God in all of business in the world. And I've thought a lot about this. Like, who is the motherfucking company that runs shit? Like, who's England? Because England, like, the crown owns, like, how many acres? 300 billion acres?
6.5 billion.
Yeah,
Jesus.
which is, like, the next closest person is 800 million acres.
It's like 600 million.
Yeah, like,
Some dude.
not even close. So I think that Apple is the GOAT of all businesses because they have the App Store, right? And then the iPhone, right? So YouTube, Facebook, all these platforms, what the fuck would they be without the iPhone? They wouldn't exist, right? And then on top of that, they're all hosted on the App Store. So, like, if you fucked with Apple, like, say, like, they were like, you know what? Steve Jobs doesn't like Mark. We're going to kick Facebook off the App Store. Dude, that, you know what that would do to Facebook's revenue?
No, it'd
like,
be destroyed.
All the advertisers would be like, well, nobody's going to be fucking using you guys anymore, so I'm out of here.
Let's go to Parlor.
So, so I
Is that
think,
back?
I think
I heard it is,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's back, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time on that. I'm waiting for Trump's app. I heard it's, I don't know.
I heard it's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
I'm just joking.
America first.
I'm Instagram all the way. Fuck TikTok. But like, I think that like if you really pissed off Apple in some way, or if somebody at Apple, like Apple could like destroy a country. No problem. Like if they wanted to, they could just start. Like Apple could take over. They wanted to. Apple is Skynet. Have you ever seen the Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all those movies in the future where you have one processing thing. It's like, hello, Andrew. Good morning. And you're standing in front of it.
It's like lights on.
Okay, Andrew. Lights.
Lights are bad for you at this hour.
We recommend 30% dim.
We want you to form a good sleeping pattern. Andrew. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to cut you.
We've had this conversation before.
The Apple infrastructure powering down. You son of a bitch.
Asian porn is much better for you tonight.
I sense you're in the mood.
Yeah, it's Tuesdays, Andrew. Do you simply Asian with your tacos?
Andrew, we fed Rambo. He did not eat it all.
Yeah. That wasn't funny.
Can we talk? Can we talk about how accurate Instagram ads are?
How amazing it is.
Yeah,
like
so
it's
accurate.
Fucking, it's fucking ridiculous.
I don't have to
and
spend
nobody.
I don't have to spend any time thinking about what I want to buy. I just buy whatever they show.
I'm
me.
going on
Yeah.
I'm going on a 30-day cleanse.
No Instagram.
No, fuck that. No buying anything unless it's guaranteed that I need it or that it's like an emergency purchase.
That's a slippery slope.
Okay, so I
you did the
qualified.
unless. No, I trust you, but I'm just saying,
No,
like,
it has to be
Next thing you know, he starts
qualified.
justifying all these.
I almost
purchases.
justified as Fish Finder the other day, so I was like, damn it, no. Like,
Dude, what if
cancel.
the apocalypse came back next week? I would need this fish finder
would
to
need-
provide for my
I need
family.
5 iPhone cases.
Like, this is how it would roll. Let me take you through the thought process here. Like, you're
I'm on day 2. I'm doing good.
you're on day 2 of not buying shit. Fish finder comes through your sponsored ads. You're sitting at a traffic light. You're not on Instagram at a traffic light.
I am.
You're in the passenger seat.
I'm in the passenger seat for all those listeners.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well, I mean, God forbid you crash into somebody texting and driving tomorrow. I don't want them to come back onto the show and be like, he was literally talking about it the day before. We're definitely suing his ass.
That's true.
So he was in the passenger seat, saw the fish finder, and you thought, well, Corona happened so easily. It could come back at any point. Corona 2 could be tomorrow. I could literally have to go deplete Nakamixin of all its fish to provide for my family. This is part of my preparations. I need this fish finder.
No. So
Is that how it's
No,
gonna go?
because I went through the mental process that any survivalist crap, anything 30-day binge, I can go without it. I have enough stuff. I have more stuff than I could carry out of my house in a survival situation. So I don't need any more shit. Right?
He does.
I do.
It would fit in the boat, though.
No more knives, no more shit. Like, I don't need any more fucking knives. I can't even use the ones I have.
What do you have
this
so
a-
many knives?
Yeah, is this a problem that I'm not quite aware
Yeah,
of?
what the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Knives. I got a machete in the back of my truck. I
Why?
figured I could use that. I chopped down trees one time. I had to use it as brush, so I kept it in there.
What are you planning on running into, like the Sinaloa cartel?
Just
like,
in
you're gonna have to
case.
like hack somebody up into a barrel.
They put me in bamboo. It can't get out. So I'm doing a 30-day cleanse of purchasing shit.
Well, here's where I'm going to
Wow.
push back on this. I watched a video earlier of this dude that was like on a yog, like in the mountains or something. In this
He was on a what?
yog.
I don't know what that is.
I don't
Jog.
either.
A jog.
jog.
Yeah, a yog.
That wasn't funny.
Yeah, well, you laughed.
Shut up.
You laughed and you didn't even know what I said. That's how funny that shit was. Okay, so he was chased by a panther. Or not a panther, a mountain lion. Right?
Okay.
And the entire video was him just like, I'm going to fucking die this way. It's fucking great. But like if he had a machete,
Yeah, machete could have.
you know what I'm saying?
Still died.
So like I'm definitely green lighting, re-green lighting any knife purchases.
So I'm gonna have to get all my needs approved by my wife. That was the qualifier. So she keeps me pretty sane. So I'm day 2.
You know what? That's pretty funny. What if she starts like okaying purchases that you were like, I was thinking about getting this machete, but I talked myself out of it. She's like, John, I think you need the machete. And then she like, tells you some reason why.
That'd be great. Then I need it.
You know what?
She's frugal as fuck, so.
You know how people make pictures of like all their guns laid out? I want to see all your knives. Like
Yeah, me
like
too.
the Joker.
Well, he had a K-bar knife one time, and I was like, oh, I need that. I don't know how to use it.
Is that the low
It's
low one?
curved guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing's badass.
I think it was cool. Yeah.
Left-handed. Got it.
Oh. Yeah, I've been on a cleanse for the past 3 years of my life, so I don't buy shit.
Purchasing cleanse?
Yeah, I don't buy shit unless I need it.
Well, here's why you don't buy shit, Gilmar. There's times in our relationship where you have worn sneakers that I haven't seen before for like the first 6 months of our friendship, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking to myself,
Yeah, what if you had to buy
how
no
many
sneakers
sneakers
for
do you
30
buy a
days?
month?
Nah, fuck that.
And you're literally like, I haven't bought any sneakers for a long time.
No, I haven't though.
And then I was like,
I don't believe you.
how many sneakers do you have in the bank that like I still haven't seen dupes?
Well, it was a different time in my life. You know, when I lived at home with my parents and I didn't have to pay anything really.
Oh,
Just
I
like
thought you were
a little
selling
bit of
drugs
rent.
or something.
Oh,
You're like,
no.
the way you said that, you're like, oh, well, that was a different time in my life. You know?
Had a face tat.
That was before my kids.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
BC.
Yeah, so
cheers.
yeah, you know, I used
My
to
friends
just,
used to call me Dozer.
so I used to just buy shoes all the time, but now it's like, you know, I'm a different person. So
Do you ever like sell them?
yeah, I used to sell them a lot.
You would just get would you wear them for like one round?
Nah, never. No, I would buy them and then flip them. I'd sell them like double the price the next day.
A shoe flipper.
Yeah, I used to be a shoe flipper.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
No, I go the opposite with shoes. I'm like buying them. They start to stink. You gotta.
That's because you put your shoes on in the store to try them on, and you like blow them out.
I walk out of the store with the shoes on.
John like busts like a hard like jumping lunge at the store to test them, and they're like, "Sir,
You can't do that.
it's like squeak."
Oh, dude,
like,
I got
"No,
these
dude."
ones
Yeah, I
Hell
noticed
yeah, they
these
look
bad
good.
boys.
because the last ones I got were waterproof and they got a fucking hole right here.
Ah,
dude,
trash.
those last ones you wore, those white bad boys, you blew them out.
Oh,
And,
dude,
like,
those things were just.
it
That
was
was the
bad.
75 hard killed those fucking shoes.
the Reebok Classics.
The Reebok Classics were
Yeah.
done. They're destroyed. They smell like turkey feet. Like they're fucking horrible.
Dude, they look like Chris Farley learned karate.
Shout out Chris Farley.
They're fucking
Yo,
done.
R.I.P.
So I got done with the 75 hard challenge on
Yeah, that's
Saturday.
why it was kind of cool that
That
when
he
I
came
when
on,
I
it
was talking to
perfect.
Sonny yesterday, I think, and I was like, who can we get on?
Did you know you inspired me to do it?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you came on and
Should you guys
and-
hug?
No, man.
I didn't even talk that well about it. Like,
No, you talked
I
enough, and then
I
we
wanted
had,
to talk more about it, but we just kind of got off like we just got.
we
out.
were talking
we got
about like
wild boys.
government spending problems or something like that last time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Sounds
and
about it was that time in John's life. It was spending.
so,
all.
but the reason I got onto it is I get done with the 75 hard, and I check off the last box, which was I think that night it was workout. So I check off the second workout. I was like, oh, you're done. Are you ready to start phase one? I was like, what do you mean? I just finished. Isn't there like a reprieve here? And it's like, well, phase one, it's like by tomorrow you can read about it. And then you read about it. It's like, all right, do everything you just did, but add 4 more disciplines or whatever it is to it. Did you do that?
Yeah, so for me, what happened was I finished 75 hard. Then the day after, so the 76th day, I did everything except I didn't do the outdoor workout.
Okay.
And I felt terrible.
Are
I
you-
was like, oh, what kind of person am I? And then afterwards, no, seriously. And
dude.
then afterwards, I was like, I gotta go to phase 1. And then I did phase 1, and I fucking hated it. That first week, it was so tough. I was just like, dude, fuck Andy. I can't believe this shit. Like, I gotta take this 5-minute cold shower, and it's like cold as balls outside. And it was not fun, but it was awesome.
Did you finish it?
Eventually, yeah, I finished it that time. I failed phase 2 twice, and then I completed it right before we got Enzo. I think 2 days after we got Enzo, I completed phase 2. And then now, like, whenever I'm like facing,
So there's the 75 hard, and then there's phase 1,
Yeah.
and then there's phase 2.
Then there's
So,
phase
so
two.
phase,
phase 1 is not the first 75 days.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I feel like we needed to clarify that.
I got done Saturday, and on Sunday, I was like, all right, what am I going to do today? So I slept in a little bit. I felt fucking great. I was at the lightest I've been in a long time.
Cheat meal.
And it didn't start that way. It started with me going fishing.
it
It didn't. No, I went fishing at 8:30. I fished till 12. I felt I felt I was in a zen. I got done. I ate good for breakfast, the healthiest breakfast I've eaten in 76 days. Like I think it was just something quick. Like it was easy. It was fruit or
Pancakes,
something.
yeah.
No, it's fruit. I didn't even like it. No. And then
Vegan.
I got
pancakes.
done fishing. I went and got some herbs and stuff I had to plant in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I planted those. And then I finally sat down with a beer. My neighbor bought me a case of beer because he'd know I've been craving like Blue Moon.
Wow.
Like because he's been going on walks with me, like a bunch of them at night.
Oh, that's
So I
cool.
get the Blue Moon. I get the Blue Moon out, and I'm sitting on my deck, and I got the Blue Moon, and I got like a cup of like fucking goldfish or something I haven't eaten, whatever. It's riveting. And I crack the beer, and I'm drinking it, and my one neighbor sees me. He's like, "Yo, you're drinking without me?" He goes, "Fuck you, man." He's like, "Yo, fuck you. I wanted to do this on my own. Like I did this. So I drank the first beer on my own.
Right.
Then I went outside and had like 2 or 3 more. And I was like fucking toasted because I haven't drinking in forever. I'm just drunk
Wow.
after 3 beers.
And you're also 40 pounds lighter.
I'm
so-
40
Yeah.
pounds lighter. Things going through. We end up going playing like baseball in the park, like hitting fucking bombs.
Dude.
And then I sobered up and I was like, oh, I got to go do a cheat meal. And that's where it started to fall away. So I go to Five Guys and I'm at Five Guys.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, let me just get a cheeseburger and maybe just throw in a grilled cheese and maybe some fries. So I'm eating the burger. I can barely finish it, but I do that.
Sometimes the cheat meal, I find when I watch people cheat meal, it's almost such a disservice because like you go further
Then I
than
would
you
have.
would have if you were just
No,
like,
but the thing is, I used to eat like this a lot. And then I had that. And then on the way home, I was like, oh, man, I really want some ice cream.
wait, after you ate the Blizzard?
Yeah. No, after I ate
Right.
the Five Guys. And then I'm on my way and I get a Blizzard when I got home. And I got done with that.
Oh, so that's when the Blizzard
And I
happened.
fucking laying there at like, it was 8 o'clock at night.
Like
And
a
I-
beached
I,
whale.
like a beach whale. I was like, I worked 75 days.
You're
not
on the
to
couch or you're
ever.
in the
No, I
bed?
was on the floor. I was on the floor.
On the first floor?
On the first floor. I didn't even make it upstairs.
What?
The kids were over at their grandparents' house having
So
dinner.
they didn't see this moment
No.
of shame.
So I'm like laying there. I was like, dude, I just spent 75 days, so I didn't fucking feel like this. This sucks. So then I went for like a walk and a run after that to like try to clear it out. And woke up the next morning, felt like garbage.
Yeah, probably.
That was Monday. So Monday morning, I felt like garbage. I was like, fuck, this sucks. I feel horrible.
What time of day did you eat that stuff?
7. It was
PM?
yeah, it was past my time. I know, dude. It's because I wasn't gonna do it. And
Dude,
I
if
was
you're
like, I
gonna
was gonna
do it,
do
you
it.
got to do it at lunch.
I know. Well, so I got a lot to learn. And then
You gotta learn how to cheat.
yesterday,
It's called grunchies.
So
You got
ye-
that cheese.
yesterday I had to go take my dog to get spayed up in Lockhaven, PA.
Lockhaven?
Lockhaven,
Lockhaven.
like Lockhaven.
Oh,
Lock.
oh, like
Lockhaven.
Lock.
And so I'll tell you that story in a second. But
Okay.
I
At
ate
Lockhaven.
good. I had Ruby Tuesdays, nicest restaurant in town. I was the only fucking person in there at 12
Hell
o'clock.
yeah.
That's a
It was
nice fucking
awesome,
restaurant
dude.
for over there. by the way.
I couldn't find anything. I was like, oh,
So you asked them for the vegan menu?
yeah, no. So I had the salad and I had like a piece of chicken with broccoli. So I felt good. I was still recovering from Sunday because I just felt like crap. And then I'm working like sporadically as I'm stopping, driving around, like looking at this town, trying to learn. There's 2 rivers there. I'm trying to like look for fish. There's nothing. Like it's fucking dead.
You brought your fishing.
I brought my like one fishing rod, but I think that it's so polluted. There's no fucking fish.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So then I was sitting at a park, and this park's beautiful. It's overlooking the river, and so I pull up, and there's these like little like fire pits along the river. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking sit here. This fire pit's already ready to go. Someone put all the sticks in here. So I start the fire. I light this thing up, and I'm just sitting there, and all these people are like looking at me. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? There's fire pits here. I'm on. There's a park that's up against the river. And all of a sudden, this dude comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I was like, I don't know. What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm just sitting here enjoying the fire. It's a beautiful day out. He's like, dude, that's not your fire pit. I was like, what do you mean? And we're in a park. He's like, nah, this side of the road, because the little driveway parking area for the thing. He's like, this side of the road, these are people's properties. I was like, what do you mean? There's 10 foot of fucking riverbank between the road and the river, and you're telling me that they sold these little pieces of property that are probably underwater half the year? And then I start looking around, and I realize that half of them had like RVs on them, and then people had tents. They had like homeless people, It was fucking
So
weird.
You rolled in on
Some
an
dude,
encampment.
and he had set up this beautiful fire pit. And I just lit it on fire, and I'm just sitting there like with it on fire.
Did he have wood in there?
Yeah, it's wood. That's what I'm saying. Wood was already piled up, ready to go.
See, you just went up to some random pile of wood that somebody else stacked, and you just
I
figured
thought,
you'd light
I
it on
thought
fire.
someone like did a good deed, and they just left it.
They just left it for you.
They just left it for me. I thought it was my
how
day.
ridiculous this sounds.
You know that the gypsies would make you orphan, okay? Your children would be orphan.
It was the craziest thing.
Seriously,
It was
if you were in like if you were in Kurt's, could you imagine if you lit Kurt is like our wood shop landlord?
lit his shit on fire.
Yeah. Have you ever seen him get upset about his firewood?
Dude,
Could you imagine if you lit the firewood he pre-planned for a fucking
I'm
fire?
telling you, I drove-
He would shoot you on sight. I'm not even exaggerating.
Dude,
that I'm confident he would just go.
this
He would
park
he wouldn't
sat-
even argue with you. He'd just go back to the car and get his gun and come back and just.
he
be so
sat
mad.
on top of the river, and the parking lot for the playground was between me and the river, and then there was a 10-foot section of fucking land, and they somehow figured out how to sell this fucking land, and
You're
it
in
wasn't part of the
You're
park.
in the wrong.
I was in the wrong. I was definitely wrong, and I was like, I started looking around. And he got that moment. I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up. I really fucked up here. So I like had to put the fire out and bail
That
and
is
run away.
absolutely ridiculous.
I know. I
So-
wish I recorded it. It was horrible. This guy came and was like, what are you doing? And he's like so aggressive about it.
Yeah, because he probably
I
spent
think
a
it was
ton of
his.
time
I
chopping
think it
the
was his
wood and
neighbor.
putting it up there.
It was his neighbor. It was such a weird thing.
He's like, when Benny gets back from the grocery store, he left 5 weeks ago. He's walking.
Gilmar, can you pull up Lockhaven University on Google Maps? I'm going to show you what this is.
No, better yet, take us to Google Satellite. I want to see a zoomed in
That's what I'm
picture
saying.
of the
Google
fire
Satellite.
pits. I
And
want to see this bullshit.
All right, I'm going to get up for a second. It's right here. All right, zoom out for a second.
Oh, sorry.
Zoom out. Go right here. Go right here. Go to the satellite.
He still clicked on it.
No. Where's the university?
It's right there. The big fucking thing that says
Right
Lockhaven.
here. Right here. There's a park. Right there. Yeah, zoom in on that bitch. All right. So the road's here, right? And this is the park. And I park here, and I'm thinking like, and all these docks right there because it's still the winter.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. It was like they
There's
haven't
docks
put them
there.
all in there.
What do you
Wasn't
mean?
that many docks?
I feel like you just didn't notice them. They're clearly there on the map.
Yeah, but how is that someone's property? There's a park there.
I don't know. I clearly see all these like campers lined up here.
There
See,
was
dude,
only
they're even-
one
it's even
camper.
labeled.
There was only one camper there, and he was down at the end.
Can we look it up on Zillow? Like what?
If
one
you
is
can you drive like did the Google car drive in there?
Let's see.
Dude, it was so
Does
fucking.
the Google car
no,
drive
see.
in there?
No, only on,
It's a Mark
only on
Ford.
here.
Oh, dude, I'm telling
Drop
you,
him in there. Nah,
No,
dude,
they won't go.
bitch. What's that dude's name?
Marty.
Marty.
I'm not gonna push back on that at all. That dude's forever known as Marty, the Google guy that you can drag and drop onto
That's
the road.
Marty.
Marty the
It
Google
was
guy.
so strange
Marty.
though, because you just all those docks weren't there. There was no boats there. They were all vacant. And I could have.
See, we don't know about any of that. If you're clueless enough to just walk up on a pile of wood and light it on fire, you probably are
beautiful,
clueless enough to
dude.
miss all those boats and
I was
die.
definitely.
What I want to know is, do you know what they call that in most places?
Trespassing.
Arson.
Arson.
You
That was
burnt,
fucking
you
crazy.
burnt another human being's assets.
That was. I tried to go to a couple parks, and a lot of them looked like they were just. There was no one there. There was no one in this whole fucking town. The university was out. Like I don't think they went back because of COVID. It's
I mean,
beautiful. This
yeah.
beautiful university.
I mean, people they could have graduated and all finished up too.
Yeah, I mean, school's out for the summer. You know that, right?
College.
Yeah, most of the schools finished like this week.
Yeah, I think I just
we
saw
got a kid
I was
working for us that's
walking the
in
other day.
college.
Okay, that makes more
He
sense.
came back last week.
Yeah, I just
So-
I saw NYU had their.
I saw a
stuff,
couple
yeah.
weird things though. They're redoing this downtown. There's 2 strips of main road. It's an old school, old timer town. Brand new road and boulevard. Every store was vacant. It's like, where are they getting the money?
It's probably been
To do
vacant
that.
for a while.
Vacant forever. So I guess they're trying to revitalize it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It was a very strange town.
I'm not going to Lockhaven anytime
No.
soon.
It
My mom took me there to tour the college, and it was like on the list of schools I visited. It was on the bottom of it. I guess it was.
if you zoom out, there's like a big ass dam they built.
It was my
so it
mom's-
didn't flood. See the big dam there?
She's like, you might want a backup school.
I walked that whole thing.
No thanks.
That was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my day. I had to wait for the dog.
That's exhilarating.
Okay, can we talk about why you had to go all the way to Lockhaven for that?
Yeah. All right. That's good. That's a good point. Apparently, around where we live, people really like to spend money on spaying their dogs, and we wanted to do it laparoscopically. Is that what where
Zoom in on John's hands.
so they went in with robots or whatever they did, and they took the ovaries out with the incisions like that big.
Mm-hmm.
Look. Can we just take a step back here, though? Right. You drove all the way to a place where they sell mini lots of land with fire pits on them, and you trusted the veterinarian hospital in that same vicinity of that area.
I'll put it in context for you. If Ariel said, Andrew, this restaurant is legit, I've done the research, would you follow her to hell?
No.
Yes, you would. Okay, not hell. You would follow her to the restaurant.
Yeah. We went all the way to like Morocco.
That's what I'm saying. So my wife did the research, and so the procedure in PA is $3,500 to do this.
Research.
Jesus.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. So I said, Lauren, call down to North Carolina and find out how much our old vet was when we lived there. And they're like, oh, it's like $1,200. I was like, all right, well, I could drive 6 hours, but let's take that same theory and find a place with good reviews somewhere that's closer. And she found this place.
John the Jew.
Dude, $800.
Wait, how much does it cost to neuter?
Neuters, it can be done sooner. It's much easier because they don't have to go in.
They don't have to go. Okay.
These, they went in and they tacked her stomach for $800.
Oh.
And they loved her. It was a great experience.
Yeah, they just shoot a little stuff in there, and it just dissolves all
Yeah.
That's
the scrotum.
So she had 3 small
I never
incisions.
thought I'd say that on air.
Scrotum.
Scrotum.
There.
oh, there we
That's a
go.
word.
It was awesome. As soon as I walked in, the vet was wood paneled. I was like, oh, geez. Like, this thing is a hole in
So
the
you
wall.
walked into Ted Bundy's
It
living
was Ted Bundy's vet.
Did you
And
decide
but
to light
as
that
soon
on
as I
fire?
saw the as soon as I saw the
came in and
staff
there's like lotion on the counter.
and I saw the
Would you like
staff
some
and then the
lotion?
surgeon, he was awesome. They were really good with Luna. She had a good feeling about it. She's like, oh man, I'm here, something new. So excited about it.
Where's this place?
No, we'll get my ovary snipped.
Yeah, seriously.
So what an experience that was. Good day though. A great day.
Dude, you could have ended up with some charges, dude. Arson.
That's what I'm saying. I probably almost went to jail
Trespassing.
without knowing it.
You were in that dude's living room uninvited.
Fucking, they need better signage.
There's no
Like,
signs.
There's no signs.
You'll
They might not have had an outsider there in a long time. Maybe that's what it was.
An outsider.
You're one of them, them city folk.
You one of them city folk? Yeah, we said 800 on the phone, but what town you from? Doylestown? She like looks on the list. Yeah, that's gonna be 3,200.
Dude, it was great. I'm gonna take Emma there too when she's up. She's up for it.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
That was great.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Riveting.
never even thought about all that stuff. I mean, like, I know I'm gonna have to neuter Enzo,
What, dog
but
scrotums?
yeah. Yeah, I never really thought about it, like how much it would be and stuff. I thought it would be. I mean, I know, like you said, it's cheaper for the males and stuff. But
It's cheaper if
he's
they
already-
cut them down the middle,
Mhm.
and for females they open up like the whole fucking stomach.
Oh,
But then the recovery is terrible. So that's why we went
okay.
the other way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go to Mexico and China for operations and surgeries.
True.
Oh yeah,
Same principle.
dude. The Mexico medical tourism thing, it's nuts. It's like they like put you up in a nice hotel. They like have a nice shuttle come get you. You get your procedure done. You're taken care of so nice. And then meanwhile over here, you're just like at an outpatient fucking facility
Yeah,
in like
you're just a
St.
number.
Mary's. You're just like you said, you're just a number and stuff. That's
And it's
funny.
a fifth of the cost in Mexico.
Yeah, it's crazy too if you think
Why
about
do
it.
you guys know so much about getting fucking operations in Mexico?
I know one
Don't
guy,
ask.
You
I
know
don't
what
know.
I'm
It
saying?
looks like John got some nose surgery done. Probably got a
Seriously.
nose job.
dude.
No one's nose is that
I
perfect.
don't need a nose job. I got good
Dude, I'm
nose.
wondering if he did 75 in Mexico.
Just liposuction.
He was like, yeah, just 75. Only take out 75 days worth.
I went down to get my balls lasered.
Hell yeah. Wait, that sounds real.
What is that?
It's like that Chappelle routine where he's just like, I really want to get my balls waxed. So then that way I can describe them to girls like, hey, it's smoother than an egg. And she's like, oh, that's gross. And it's like, feel it, bitch. And she's like, oh, yeah. Something like that.
Dude, some smooth ass balls. I don't know. Depends on how painful it was, I guess.
And so then last night I get home, right?
I'm gonna wonder what this is. What possibly like
Snapped into that.
1 second, I'm thinking about getting my balls lasered in Mexico, and then we're gonna fast forward to John like laying on the floor.
So I
in
get
his
home at 7 o'clock, feeling pretty good. Didn't eat after 7 yesterday, so I was back into the routine. Go for the walk with the neighbors, but they wanted to celebrate and drink whiskey. So we got a fire going, and
Wait, this is your fire.
my fire,
Okay.
my fire,
Alright.
my fire going.
We're always going to ask
So
that
we
now.
started-
The way you said it was like, so we got a fire going. You got to tell people where the fire is because it sounds like you're just starting fucking fires. Because we've already told one fucking fire story, and now you're building a fucking habit forming routine. All right,
So we started the fire in my driveway,
and a licensed fire.
and everyone wanted to drink. I was like, oh, like I'm not feeling it. So I had like a little bit of whiskey, like a tiny amount,
a thimbleful.
like a finger.
Like what you give to a baby when they're
Right,
fucking
exactly.
being
And
annoying.
they couldn't really tell because I was crafty with it, so they thought I was drinking as much as they did. But it
So
ended
you were like a bartender at a strip club. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I think 3 bottles later, and then they brought out the fucking Everclear or what are they called? The
Oh.
moonshine.
What?
The
Oh.
they brought out moonshine from North Carolina.
So then you move the fire into the street.
The guy's like, I got moonshine. We're like, fucking Papa Giorgio's like, I got moonshine, and Ryan's like, all right, let's go get it. And they went and got it. And they
So
brought
you
it
invited
back.
Papa Giorgio to your neighborhood party.
Oh, dude, it was wild.
Did you light like a Tahoe on fire?
No, they lit the moonshine on fire. It was like a big blue ball. Like a
Bruh.
fucking. I had to go inside. I was like,
Did you-
dude,
and then
I'm done. It's 11.
I got kids.
You know, it's 11:30 at night, and I'm fucking tired.
you should have ended that story with, and then we danced.
I think they stayed out there till 2 a.m.
It's like, dude, that's just like I envision them just like throwing balls of fire up in the air and then just like dancing in a circle.
Oh, dude.
Great balls
Spin
of fire.
It could have ended.
Yeah, seriously.
It started with 6 people. I think 3 of them went till 2 a.m. I don't know. My wife's like, is this going to be a habit now that 75's over? I was like, I don't know. Just
Yeah,
ask
for
them.
75 days.
You gotta- you
And then
gotta
back
ask
on
them.
it again.
yeah, you 75.
So I got to be really.
Yeah, 75 softs.
I think if I spent
75
75 soft,
What?
I would go beyond where I was before.
Oh,
Fast.
shit.
No,
Fast.
I'm calling it 75 off.
Yeah.
Because you're completely off 75.
I am not.
75 soft would be if like you took out one of the workouts and cheated.
So
77.
what I'm doing today is everything's the same except for just one workout. So I think that's what I'm going to do for a little while and see if my body can maintain where it's at. And if it can't, I got to change it up. I'm not going back, though.
Interesting.
You
What
won't
about
be able
phase
to.
1?
What?
Like, just to, not to be negative or anything, but like, I like, because of my watch and stuff, I track like, the amount, like the way you can kind of spread the work over the 2 workouts. It's so nice. So you're just gonna have to be really careful on the food and stuff.
I know. I was careful before. Like, I lost a lot of weight I lost 40 pounds.
How
in
much
75 days.
more weight could you lose?
Probably 30. And I think I would be pretty.
Then why not just do 75 hard again?
I can.
Then why not just do that? Because if you want to replicate like the same outcome, just doing it longer will get you.
Bless
It
you.
kind of seems
Yeah.
like you got
I had a good thing.
halfway to your goal. You just need 150 days.
I do want to figure out how to add the social alcohol back in for the summer. That's going to be the hard part of what. So I'm trying to balance that.
I guess maybe only on the weekends.
I would say
Well, I would say don't drink with your fucking fire friend. You know what I'm saying?
Your fire
I was like,
friend.
dude, this is fucking out of control.
Maybe instead of doing like a fucking
how about,
seance,
dude, how about, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Oh, you guys should get jackets calling yourselves the firefighters. Anyways, continue.
You
Sorry.
you could do the two
Fire
workouts,
friends.
do two workouts, and not have the 3-hour gap in between. You could do that, and then that way it'll balance out the drinking and stuff like that.
Not a
think that
what
would
in
work.
between?
Like, you know how according to the program you got to leave like at least 3 hours in between
Yeah.
the workouts. So I'm saying like maybe
Did you
don't
do
do
that?
that.
Yeah, 2-3 hours. It said not consecutive.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's good. 2-3 hours. 3
Don't
hours
do
is like
that.
the thumb. No, it's the rule. No. 3 hours is
Rules
what
is
they
rules.
recommended and stuff. It's fine.
It
But-
just said not back to back.
Yeah. So you could do it like, maybe you could even do it back to back, whatever works. But just get that time in, right? Get that intent going. And then I think you'd be okay. Like, then you can kind of incorporate the drinking. But you do need that level of activity because it's very easy to just out-eat that.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. If I do add any, I don't want to change up how I was eating
Okay.
because I felt great. I didn't have heartburn for 75 days.
Damn.
Like it was great. I felt unbelievable. But I do want the occasional social drink,
Right.
and
The occasional Monday Night Light.
it was election day today. So all of them, because most of them are teachers or public servants, were off today. That's why we picked yesterday. But
Interesting.
I don't know, dude. Papa Giorgio is running for Bucks County election inspector official because nobody was on the ballot and it was left blank. Like nobody ran for that position.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He got every one of us in the neighborhood to write him in. He could get elected.
Whoa.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Interesting. I think those people are just supposed to stand at the polls and
Can you
look,
do that in Philadelphia?
I
That
don't
would be
know.
helpful.
He'll be in. We'll be in the Bucks County.
I don't know.
I mean, we
into
don't
that.
really need it here in Buck County, but
Who knows? But, jeez. We got these 275 boys in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
That was a long couple days.
Are you sure you
there.
guys get tattoos?
I was thinking that, but
I
that's
really wanted
stupid.
American, like some kind of like God bless America. Like I want to get my like arm done. I need to start somewhere, and I always think like I don't have anything cool to put, and then I just thought, well, I fucking love America, so I just put some American shit there. There's nothing wrong with that. It won't
USA.
go out of style.
Yeah, that'll never go out of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been really toying with that. I was even thinking about the thing that you and Ariel do, like when you travel down.
Oh, the vacation tattoos?
Vacation tattoos.
Yeah,
I
but
was like,
that's
yo,
not for
let's
everybody.
do it. I was like, yo, let's do that in Miami. And
The only place that Ariel said no to was we were in Durrës, Albania, and I found a tattoo artist there, and like he didn't make our appointment time because he was like taking a nap. Like they go home in the middle of the day, like to have lunch
that's
and everything.
that's
like
a classic.
that. Dude, and he
It's
just
European
dude,
thing.
he just never came.
They do it
back.
in
He
India,
ju-
too.
He just
Do they?
I didn't mean to like be against Albanians and be like, oh, that's classic Albanians. But no. But they do it in India.
kidnapping
Dude,
Liam Neeson's
they do it
daughter.
in Spain. They do it in France.
It's European.
They have
thing.
lunch,
Yeah.
and then they go to a place they sleep for 2
It's
hours.
probably
Yeah.
everywhere besides like Japan and America.
Siestas?
Yeah, absolutely.
Siestas.
Japan is so focused because they're just isolated.
Bro.
Oh,
Crazy
everybody
focused.
reverted to that, by the way, in Miami. My whole family, they're just like, all right, it's time to go to sleep. It's 2 o'clock. We're going to have to turn in. It's too hot outside. And I'm like, all right, guys, whatever. I'm going to, like, go do something outside. But,
You go find
Yeah.
a pile of wood and light it up.
yeah, light up some palm trees.
That was wild.
Yeah, I mean, you're just some wild boys over there up in that neighborhood.
Trying to get some stories, you know. For the podcast.
Yeah.
Try and get some stories. So is this how we come back to the beginning of the story? You saw the pile of wood that looked like it was probably somebody else's, and you're like,
I'm gonna light it. So
I'm
I
gonna
have a
do
story.
it. I'm gonna do it for the podcast.
Dude, it was crazy. I don't know.
Yo, dog training. I need to like get into this because this was like difficult with Enzo. Like I would talk to my vet. Like I have a cool thing going with my vet. They have like this thing where like they have an app and like I can like ask questions 24/7 like to the nurses and stuff. Which is super cool, very helpful. And then like I ask sometimes about like behavioral things, and then they just keep recommending like all this stuff where it's like, oh, you know, like if he's about to do something bad or something, just distract him with a treat or something like that. And it's like okay, but there needs to be some kind of punishment. I'm not saying like go beat the dog,
Well,
but like there needs to be
it's not punishment.
redirection or whatever.
You just don't acknowledge, and like some dog trainers will disagree with this because there's different types of dog trainers.
Yeah.
There's styles, and then there's types where it's like correctional. Like I might be speaking out of turn. There's correctional, then there's like passive, where there's like absolutely no like negative, like there's no shock collars, there's no prong collars. It's all like very kindness. And then there's like probably like the hyper aggressive one where it's, I don't know anything about that. But when the dogs are puppies, it's really, really just rewarding them for doing the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that they're only ever thinking about doing the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to like one of John's neighbors has like a Cocker Spaniel or something like that, and they were going to put a shock collar on that dog. You can't do that. Like you can't just put the collar on the dog. Like the shock collar is for like it's for bite dogs or hunting dogs or dogs that you're training like perimeter or off leash, and it's like for giving them like perimeter definition. It's like, hey, this is the boundary.
Right.
Like when you shock a dog for doing something, you're just gonna create an aggressive dog.
Right.
Because then they're just gonna like, it's just what ends up happening, especially with the prong collars too. Like you see this a lot with and I almost like I went down kind of with a trainer that was like into this style with like Rambo, and like it was kind of weird like how much correction wanted to be applied for things that like I was like, well, like that's just like it was just too much correction in my opinion. Like I definitely believe in prong collars, I believe in shock collars and all that, but like the way it's applied is like very important to me. So especially when they're puppies, like sub 6 months, it's a lot of like if Rambo, like I say sit and he sits, I'm like I give him a piece of food and I say yes, like saying like he completed whatever, yes, like yes. Right. If he then like stands up and I have to tell him to sit again, I do not give him a treat. Like he's already supposed to be sitting.
Right.
So like then I'll be like, oh, down, and then I give him a treat.
Right.
So like but if he goes back to sit from down, like it's like no, down. Like you stay there, and then like I won't give him a treat again until like he's very sure like he's fucking down. Like he's been there for a few seconds, whatever. Like how old he is, like you increase the range of time based upon like how obedient he is or not. But like we're to the point now with Rambo at like 6 months where like it depends different times of days and when he's like excited or not. Most of the time I can get him to like go to one place and tell him to stay there, and he just is there. Or like when we go out to eat, like he'll lay under me. Or like sometimes like we'll go out to eat and he'll just be like excited because like he'll be overstimulated or whatever. But like I can't be like mad. I can't be like trying to correct him for being just like
a dog.
A dog, yeah.
And that's where like that fine line between correction and like just not acknowledging it. So like redirecting him is like instead of like telling him with a treat. Like, I will not show him a treat to tell him to lay down. Like, he's got to lock eyes with, like, we've already trained that. Like, in the beginning, like, you're showing him food in one hand, you're showing him food in the other hand. And then, like, you're kind of getting him to, like, look at your hands, but, like, not look at your hands. Because you want him to look at you. So, like, every time he looks at your hands, he's not getting a treat. But, like, when he's looking at your hands, and all of a sudden he's like, no, I'm not supposed to do that. Like, what's up? And you give him a treat. And so over time, like, when you're out, like, he's supposed to only be focused on whoever's, like, handling him.
Right.
So if he's like misbehaving or something like that, like I have to like tell him what to do. I don't have to correct him. I have to like correct what I'm doing. Like I have to be like, Rambo, you need to sit down, or Rambo, you need to lay the fuck down.
Right.
Or this, because like otherwise, like he might just be acting that way because he's like, I don't know what to do right now. I'm just gonna fucking be a dog.
I commend you for trying to train a service dog basically on your own.
I would not say on my own.
Well, not on your own, but it's you. your
It's
wife.
I have to be
there's a lot of
consistent
good-
with
You're
it.
consistent.
There's a lot
No,
of good
but-
stuff that you've done.
A lot of
Yeah.
people send their dogs away for 6 to 8 months and they get them back trained, and then the training lasts for 3 to 4 months because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
and then the training's all.
That's what my thought process was, though. Like, if I wanted to like handle him or handle future service dogs, like after I'm done training him, I could probably just go buy a dog pre-trained or whatever.
Or you can train the next one just as easy.
Know, but like I could also like just focus my energy on somebody else training them, but I would know what they did,
Yeah.
or understand like
Yeah.
what went into that, and I would also have like the regiment. Like I was really focused on just like getting the routine of training him, so that like instead of it just being him being trained, like I'm just like telling him what to do all day.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
not really like training him. He's just like here, and that's like my obligation to be like, if you're here, you gotta
Right.
behave.
Yeah.
So if you have to behave in your mind, you're gonna behave well.
Right. Yeah, so I have Enzo at pack leader, and what they were talking about, which is like similar to, not similar, but like you were talking about this too, where it's like you got to kind of know your dog, the breed, and him or herself. So like, for example, Enzo's a Malamute, so he needs a lot of exercise before he can start taking like commands and things like that. Like he needs to be, the whole idea is that he needs to be fulfilled first. Like through the exercise. I can't expect him to listen to me and stuff like that if he's just got like, you know, if he's used to his whole lineage just pulling 250 pounds like all fucking day, and then I'm just expecting him to sit here and be like, go sit, go down and stuff. And then it doesn't like work. And like
You got to put like a parachute on him and run him in the park or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And like
that's the same
I didn't
thing.
do that.
You have to like, if you get a horse, you got to ride the horse.
Yeah. So I didn't do that. And like at the same time, it's like my vet and so many people are like, oh, you can't take your dog outside. You can't do this. I'm just like, dude, even after I take this guy for like a 3.5 mile walk, a pretty brisk one at that, like plus 4 miles an hour. And even then, like this guy's just got so much energy and he's just not coming down. Yeah.
Oh shit, a Malamute's like almost like an Alaskan Husky.
No, the Malamute would eat a husky. A Malamute's like what actually gets the shit done. Like huskies aren't really that.
This dog's massive, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Malamute.
He's only, I think right now he's 3.5 months old and he is 38 pounds, I think.
Yeah,
Wow,
one of my friends that moved to San Diego had two, and when the fire station would go off, like the siren, like the dogs would go in the backyard and howl. Like I have a video of them in the backyard just.
Oh shit, look at that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great dogs.
So what's the difference between this and a husky?
100 pounds.
These are larger. Generally, they haven't been domesticated for that long. Oh, sorry, they haven't been domesticated
You're
for
sagging.
that long. I know.
You're sagging on us.
I know. Siri knows
You
my
can just
secret.
pull it up if you want, or just like hold the base of it, and so it doesn't like.
Anyway, so they're a lot bigger and they're not that close to domesticate. Like, not as domesticated as a husky.
Bloodline hasn't been done.
So are they closer to wolves than they are to?
Yeah, closer to.
Mm.
I mean, still closer to domestic, but like
Yeah.
when you
Of
compare
all
it to
the
like
dogs,
yeah,
yeah.
when you compare it like these Shiba Inus and stuff like that, like they have a very strong pack orientation. They have to respect you, and so much of even like the training I'm getting from pack leader and stuff is about like how these guys are like, hey. First, you have to get your shit together first. Don't fucking rely on the dog to like fill your emotional needs and do all this stuff. If you didn't fulfill his needs and you don't have your shit together, he's not going to listen to you. He's going to shine a mirror on all your problems and stuff. And you got to like sort yourself out. During that time, I was not doing 75 hard. I slipped off and I was eating, drinking, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm just like, I don't have time to do any of these things. This dog is driving me crazy. And it's like, I lost respect for myself. That like devolved the relationship with him. And the whole time he's just like, bro, I know that you're capable of much more. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not fucking listening to you.
Dude, when you said you were gonna Sonny lives in New York City, So when you said you were gonna get this dog and then you live in the city, I was just so like interested to hear how difficult it was gonna be, because this is like having like a wild animal.
He is.
Yeah.
He
I
is.
mean, I commend
He's
you.
lovely.
I
but
think
he
he's
is.
cute. But,
Yeah.
dude,
How old
that's
is he now?
3.5 months.
Oh, he's just a pup.
Yeah.
legit, dude.
I don't
Dogs
know
are
if you
great,
can-
though.
Oh yeah, no, he's the greatest thing. I grew so much since getting him, so I don't regret it at all.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, this is him. Right now.
No, dude.
This is when he's calm.
Wow.
When
When he's calm.
yeah, when you laid down, you look like you just woke up.
It's also, a lot of it is the dog itself, right? Because we've had 3 Great Danes.
Mm-hmm.
2 have been super calm as puppies. Like Emma's super calm.
Mm-hmm.
But Luna, not calm. I don't know if it's the breeder, how she came, our emotional orientation when she was a puppy, behavior, whatever, but we usually raise them roughly the same. We use this collar called the Sport Dog, which has a range of 300 to 400 yards, whatever. So we leave it on them, like we try to do the off-leash, use the beeping as like positive reinforcement. So like they'll come to us, we'll beep, they'll sit, and like, you know, you give them a treat with the beep. So then they learn that the beep is like positive.
Mm-hmm.
And rarely do you have to ever correct them with like a shock. I think we've shocked maybe Luna once or twice in her whole life, because that once or twice, like she'll remember, and then the beeping is just like for her to reprogram and come back to like what she was doing. So when she has the collar on, she's very well behaved. When she doesn't have the collar on, it is like there's fucking screws loose. But she's still only 2, so I think she'll grow out to grow that. But Emma is calm 95% of the time, unless she's playing with the other dogs. Other than that, she's like sleeping like Rambo sleep. So I don't know what that is. But we haven't even had to, like, we won't start that beeping, like the training, until she's usually like a year old.
Yeah.
So we
I would the only thing that I would do differently if it were just me is like I would make the beeping also the negative. So like beeping means like you're about to get fucking shocked.
Yeah, we
So
we
like
do
when
the
I
beep like to come back to us.
When I call Knox,
yeah,
that's your positive reinforcement.
yeah,
Like when I call you, you get a treat from my voice. If I fucking beep you, like you watch him when I fucking hit that beeper, he comes hauling ass.
it's like, oh,
because like
shit.
I never have to shock him ever, and I very rarely have to beep him. Ariel, on the other hand, fucking that he's got that collar on. She could probably shock him, and he'd still fucking be like, nah, no thanks. Like you're shocking me right now, but I'm still probably not gonna listen.
yeah.
So like I do think it's a lot with like the dog. I do agree, but with like the breed is everything too. Malamutes a very like it's super intelligent, but it's also like they're used to just being with like fucking 10 other dogs.
Yeah.
Just being fucking competitive as shit.
Yeah, great.
I'd be interested to see how big he gets.
Yeah,
Really,
I mean,
I'm
his
looking forward to
dad, I think, is 120, and his mom is like 100, so he might fall in that range.
Damn.
They
Yeah,
look so
it's
much
gonna be
bigger
pretty
than that, but
exciting.
I guess it's their hair.
Dude, I want to see
It's their hair, yeah.
I want to see when your dog's fully grown, I want to see John next to your dog.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna be like a lean.
you know what we
trim
should
John,
get?
So
We should get John a fur coat and like a Viking costume and take pictures of you like out in the snow with just like no shirt on with like fur boots and just being like wilderness. John
With my machete.
John 75.
this is 7,500 hard.
7,500.
7,500. Founded in
Dude, if I
979 BC. John was competing with the Alaskan Malamute.
do you think it's fair to add alcohol back in every now and then? Like, you know, I don't drink, like it's not a thing, but
Yeah,
it's
a
good.
problem. We were wanting to talk about your problem drinking.
Do I get a coin?
Um,
Went 75 days.
Well,
Give me a fucking coin.
Maybe
Dude, maybe they should do it. They should make it look like a Bitcoin, but it's 75 hard Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on my
Limited edition.
ankle. That too.
You're gonna ride that joke to the ground. But
Shut up. I don't have very many jokes.
do it. Get the Bitcoin tattoo like Colin. If you
That's
do it,
not
I'll
what I
do
meant.
it.
Are you gonna? But it would be cool. It would be like some 3D dimensional coin. Will you get a Bitcoin tattoo?
Probably don't. Let's. I mean,
Sonny, I thought you were going to say, yeah,
over there.
Start the sleeves.
Sonny's like, please end this episode. Don't ruin me.
No. It's not that. I'm having fun, but no, I remember
I actually
when,
got to get out of here soon.
okay, when you guys announced that during that episode, I think it was at 32. I think I bought it at 55. I
Oh,
think.
dang, not looking good today then.
Yeah. I mean, no, I
It'll come
bought
back
some
up.
recently too. At the dip or whatever it was. Forget.
It'll go back up.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a long-term play. It's not, but yeah. I mean, who knows if it gets to like some crazy level? I'll get one. Fine.
Yeah, dude. Whatever.
Buy more.
I got real estate.
No worries, dude. You know what? Me and Gilmar were out last weekend. We were talking about buying. Was it last weekend we were talking about buying Doge?
Oh yeah.
Well, I never bought the Doge. Instead, I bought Cardano, and then it went from like 136 to like 236 like 2 days later.
Holy shit.
So I accidentally hit the fucking thing.
Nice.
I was gonna buy the Dogecoin, but fucking Robinhood or whatever wouldn't let my account get like linked
Funded
for
or
whatever
whatever,
because
yeah.
PNC had to verify it. But whatever.
Hell yeah. Shout out to
Dude, I
that.
have to pee so bad, and I gotta go.
All right,
to
well, we got to hear about that next time.
What?
You're going hardcore jujitsuing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm going full blown. dude.
He's going full blown. Like,
I'm full blown.
He's-
It's
I love it.
probably
Full
gonna-
blown jutes.
Yeah, yeah, gonna get paid.
What?
what?
Paid?
Gilmore, what do you mean?
What do you mean, baby?
Money?
Yeah, dude. Money?
Coming in money?
Bitcoin.
Oh, this has been good. Sonny, thanks for coming back
Yeah.
on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I love when you come up. You're my favorite friend that Andrew has. Second place is Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Second place is Dave.
Yeah.
Timmy says all the boys and things. They like Dave.
like Dave.
Dave's wild boy.
That's
But I
funny.
definitely think Sonny and Dave are
should have-
are two. I don't know.
We should have Sonny and Dave.
correspondent.
on.
Yeah, we
should be on
should.
together. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Correspondence abroad.
I had a guy
Like
that I've
Sonny,
known.
Sonny goes away, just comes back and reports what he sees.
I went to Miami.
Heavily
I
biased.
was in Lockhaven. I could definitely see where John messed up. I
Reporting live.
I was walking
I'll
in
be
the
your
park.
Asian reporter, Trish Takunawa.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, Sonny, for coming on. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And don't forget us on Instagram. We post clips. So if you're not interested in, listening or watching a whole show, you're not sure how to share us with your friend, we post the clips on Instagram and we post them on YouTube. So go to there
And share
find the clip and then just share that with your friend.
That's what I
Yo,
said.
can you fucking follow this shit on YouTube? God damn it. I've been following this shit from day one. I don't like this shit. It's not growing according to what these guys are saying in the listenership on Spotify and the podcast. It's bullshit.
Dude, that's
These
what,
guys look good. Follow that shit.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Sonny.
Sonny.
I don't
Sorry,
need to
guys.
say anything else after that. We out.